Family! Welcome back! Finally! Cactus Josh has come back to YouTube! How about it? Week 2, folks. Week 2, and we're still at it. Still circling these wagons. How about it? Glad to see you. Yes, I am your host, the heavyweight champion of the world. Tell you a quick story about this. One time I had this out. A guy comes to the house for a delivery, and he sees the belt, and he's like, "Oh, are you still fighting, or are you still competing?" And I'm like, to tell you the truth, I went with it. I was like, "Oh man, my shoulder, my knee, I'm all busted up, dude. I don't have it in me anymore." Different times, though. It was a different time. I was back in Houston, and I just went with it, man. I just went right along with it, and I was like, yeah, it's hard times. The body breaks down and can't do it anymore. But anyways, that was pretty funny. Welcome back to the And It All Ends with Stanley podcast. Should be called My Wife Is Not Home podcast. That might be an AKA. Hey, listen, guys. I really appreciate you coming back. I appreciate you kind of sticking with me here on this and going along on this journey with me. I do know that you deserve better. So I'm learning some things. I'm playing around with some things. And by the next episode, we're going to up the production value. We're going to do some edits. I can't promise you an intro just yet. You got to pick music and design all that type of stuff. So I'm working on it. But I'm hoping by episode 5, we're going to have like some legitimate cool stuff happening on in the background for you guys. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So, no spoilers. I won't do that to you. I'm not that kind of guy involved with this stuff. But I think the critics got it wrong on this one. And I'll say publicly here that Marvel recently has missed on a few of these. I'll say it. I am biased, and I enjoy parts of the movies all because I've been reading these stories since I was a youth. But I can see how people would be displeased with Marvel as a whole, and I can see how Ant-Man might have missed a few people. But I enjoyed it. I think the biggest thing that you have to do is Loki happened so long ago that it's hard to connect the dots in your mind. And I think the best thing for people to do, go rewatch Loki. Even if it's the last couple of episodes, just go rewatch Loki, familiarize yourself a bit with some of the lore, and those two kind of tie directly hand in hand. So I would say going back and watching Loki would probably make you enjoy this movie better, because I'm going to rewatch Loki after the fact. But it's also a good idea to maybe have, I don't want to say working knowledge, but fundamental knowledge of Schrodinger's theorem and string theory, which are really advanced scientific events or theorems that occur, that if you have no idea what that is, some of the science might miss you a little bit. I'm a weirdo. I love space and the planets. Time relates directly to gravity, so I don't want to go over your heads with this video, but I love those things. So I'm familiar with, again, Schrodinger's and then string theory. So made it cooler for me, but might not have been so cool for some of you guys. But these are advanced scientific concepts that, I don't know, maybe Marvel was swinging for the fences with that one, but not to be a spoiler, what I do believe is they want to do is they're expanding the universe. They're exploding this universe, giving you the multiverse and everything like that. Also, that they can shrink it back down and do a reset. Um, as I believe I said before, they don't want to introduce and do a reboot of Fantastic Four. They don't want to do a reboot of the X-Men. They just want to bring these characters in and throw them at you. And so, with an explosion, a big bang, if you will, see what I did there? With an explosion of the universe, the Avengers, Kang Dynasty, and I forget what the other Avengers is, not New World Order, but the other Avengers. They're going to shrink it back down, and we're going to start over with some new concepts. Different heroes, different team ups, but we're going to start all over again. So I think, that's what they're doing. Should be fun. I enjoyed the movie. Love to know what you think about it. And give me your thoughts. You know what? I didn't pray before I started this. That's messed up. So, God, we're thankful, we're grateful, and continue to lead us because you're good at it. You're the best at it, and we appreciate it. Hope that doesn't offend anybody. If it does, I don't know what to tell you. Bro. You're in the wrong spot. All right, so real quickly, because I'm coming up on my time here. I'm going to keep these short depending on editing. I'm going to try not to take too much of your time. 7 to 8 minutes, is that cool? Maybe 10? You got 10 minutes for me? We'll see. But 2 weeks in a row, hey. Consistency, right? So real quick, I'm going to talk about the Buffalo Bills. Here's what I think happens, guys. I think Tremaine Edmonds walks. I think that happens. And I hope we find a way, but I think Jordan Poyer's gone as well. And hopefully you address these things in free agency or the draft. We got a lot of core good players. We get a healthy Tre'Davious White. Vaughn comes back, which, if we had Vaughn through this whole thing, I think we would have seen a lot different postseason. I think we all can agree on that. If Von Miller had stayed healthy, it would have been different in the post, dude. For a fact. So, there's that. Yeah. We'll see. It's a little scary. But I do not think the Super Bowl window is closed. I don't think so. I don't believe the Super Bowl window is closed. All right, 7 minutes. 7 is the number of completion, in case you didn't know that. So 7 minutes, that's good for this one. I don't have anything cool to show you. And you guys are probably tired of hearing me talking by now. So it all ends with Stan Lee, right? So my favorite Stan Lee comic. And soon these are going to be less about me and more about Stan himself. But this is what I have for today. The X-Men. Favorite of all time, the diversity, the storylines, the maturity of it all. But a lot of people don't know that the X-Men were meant to represent disenfranchised minorities back in the 60s and the 70s when these comic books first came out. A lot of them were talking about, the struggles of black people. And Stan Lee introduced Luke Cage, which was one of the first, kind of black superheroes that was sort of mainstream. So even though I didn't go through those struggles from the start, Stan just kind of had he was kind of looking out for people that looked like me from the start. And I thought that was really cool. And I think that's really cool for people to know. And if you know me, I'm not into the whole, I try to stay away from that. I love everybody. But this is America. And in those times, for a guy like Stan, being a Jewish man who probably wasn't looked on in an industry that was kind of frowned upon, to stand up for people that didn't really look like him. That's pretty cool. So, all right, Excelsior, keep circling those wagons because no one. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. God bless.